If grocery stores shut down, if inflation keeps rising and driving prices higher, if hurricanes knock out all the supply chains, how long could you actually feed your family from your backyard? Most people think they're ready because they grow tomatoes or lettuce. But the truth is, those crops, they're not calories. They're not going to keep you sustained. They're not going to be the type of crops that you're going to be like, oh, we have dinner, we have lunch, or even breakfast. They're not going to be the crops where you're going to be able to share with other people. So in this video right now, I'm going to give you some crops. I'm going to give you 10 of them. I'm going to give you some crops that you're going to be able to put in the ground. And when you put these crops in the ground, if the worst happens in the world, you're going to be able to be okay as far as what you eat for dinner and lunch, and maybe breakfast too. So I'm going to give you some crops to plant. So stay tuned and let's go. I'm Jermaine with GrowFit Florida. And if you're serious about long-term food security and not for entertainment, and like I said in the video before, this ain't a hobby. If you're serious and this ain't a hobby for you either, we're growing food because this is what we have to do. This is what our yards are meant for. Stay tuned. Let's get into the video. Number 10 on this list, I'm gonna go with perennial peanuts. Now don't confuse these with the ornamental ground covers. I'm talking about edible perennial peanuts, the nitrogen fixing perennial peanuts that's packed with so much goodness and they can take this Florida heat. It's high calories, high fats. It grows with zero effort once it's established. It feeds the soil while it's feeding you and your family. In survival terms, perennial peanuts are one of the few plants that provide fats and proteins, which is critical for brain function, long-term energy. And it's just one of those plants where you don't have to do anything. You just have to protect it, because the squirrels, when they see you putting those peanuts down, they're going to try to dig them up. So make sure you have your netting. Another thing that we learned, I don't know what me and my wife was thinking. We put these peanuts in our front yard thinking that, I don't know, that we were going to contain them somehow. These peanuts, you put a few peanuts down, they go everywhere. They look like weeds. So if you have a HOA, be careful where you put these peanuts down, because they will spread. But that's a good thing, because hey, who wants grass? We don't need grass, right? We're growing food here. So number 9 on this list is pigeon peas. It's not a side dish. This is something that you have to plant for survival. Pigeon peas provide protein, calories, and even essential amino acids. And they grow as a perennial tree here in Florida. So let me tell you why this matters. They produce year after year without you doing anything. They grow through drought. They repair your soil again with nitrogen. That's 2 plants now that I mentioned that's helping your soil and feeding you. The seeds can be eaten fresh or dried for long-term storage. And in many countries, pigeon peas have kept entire populations from starvation. In Florida, they're one of the easiest plants that you can grow. Get yourself some pigeon peas. Number 8, we're gonna rock with sweet potatoes. Now, here's what most people don't realize. In Florida, sweet potatoes are a perennial. They don't die. They just keep producing calories underground while giving you edible greens on top. I've said it so many times, you guys know it. I love sweet potato leaves. They are delicious. They're high in carbohydrates, fiber, vitamin A, and potassium. And the leaves, they're edible and packed with nutrients. It stores underground, safe from storms, so you don't have to worry about that. And in a crisis, the energy source that you need in any time of a crisis is right in your backyard. Sweet potatoes are going to provide you with energy. They're going to give you nutrients. And it's one of those other crops too. You just put it in the ground. They're so easy to grow. Sweet potatoes, if you had to pick one thing that you need to start your garden with, is sweet potatoes. It's no brainer. You put it in the ground, set it, forget it, and you're going to get so much food. Grow yourself some sweet potatoes. So number 7, I'm going with Seminole pumpkins. Now, when you have a food forest and you start producing so much food, one of the issues early on that you face is learning how to store your food. You're getting so much food and you find yourself giving more away than probably even you should, because you just don't know how to store it. You want to keep some more food for yourself and your family, but it's so hard to store and you don't want to waste it. Seminole pumpkins is something that you can grow that it doesn't rot in our humidity. It doesn't care about pests. It can produce hundreds of pounds and it's so easy to store. You can store it up to a year without even refrigeration. It's high in calories, in fiber, and again, you're growing so much food, you're looking for cheat codes. You're looking for easy ways to have your food and not have to do too much and put too much energy into growing it and storing it. And Seminole pumpkins is probably the easiest survival crop that you can grow, where storing it, you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to can it. You don't have to do none of that. Now, yes, it's going to make it a little bit easier for yourself later on, but Seminole pumpkins, this is a no-brainer. If it's not on everyone's survival crop list, then it's not even a survival crop list. Seminole pumpkins. We all have busy lives. We all are probably more tired than we should be. We're not getting enough rest, and we're all looking for ways to find plants or something to give us some natural ways to give energy. Number 6 on this list is sugarcane. So when your body is under stress and you need energy fast, sugarcane is one of the most cleanest, most mineral-rich carbohydrate sources in the world. It's a perennial, it's hurricane resistant. It regrows after you cut it. It produces life-sustaining calories. Sugarcane, when you hear it, it's not just sugar. It contains iron, magnesium, electrolytes. Long before people start thinking about Gatorade and things like that, sugarcane, you take some sugarcane, you're good to go. It's a survival cane juice. You can juice it, you can make sugar, you can make molasses, and you can use it in your dishes. There's so many things that you can do with sugarcane. It's a natural windbreak. Sugarcane is one of the best survival crops that you can plant. And another thing about sugarcane that is just totally awesome, it's the easiest to propagate. You could just cut some sugarcane, put it in your soil, just keep the soil moist, keep it a little wet, and it's gonna grow. I love low effort plants. I love low effort food where you're not have to babysit constantly. And sugarcane is one of those crops where you don't have to babysit. Just put it in the ground, make sure you're watering, and you're good to go. Get yourself some sugarcane, whatever variety you want. There's different varieties that are gonna taste better, grow quicker, whatever variety you want, whatever variety is good for your area, but get yourself some sugarcane. Number 5 on this list, I'm gonna roll with Katuk. Now, I know, I hear it all the time. Katuk contains this. You shouldn't eat Katuk fresh. You gotta do, look, Katuk, spinach, kale, it doesn't matter what leafy green that you put in the ground. They all have something where it's a study that shows this, that. But these are crops that people have been eating for years. And for us here in Florida, when a lot of these other cold weather crops, they're just not growing well, or pest pressure, and you want to get your greens in, you want to get a little bit healthier for yourself, because here's the reality too. We're not taking the whole bushel of Katuk and eating it every single day. Everything is in moderation. And if you're taking Katuk in moderation, it is healthy for you. Katuk is one of the most powerful perennial greens that you can grow in Florida. It's a fast growing shrub, and it's packed with protein, antioxidants, and minerals. And it thrives in heat. So it doesn't matter how hot it is outside. Katuk is going to grow. Humidity, it doesn't bother it. And another thing that's great about Katuk is it grows well in the shade. The leaves, they taste like fresh peas, and it gives you non-stop nutrition year round. So everyone out there, like I said, you have something to say about Katuk, which is fine. The points are fine. But when someone's trying to get healthier and they're trying to do better, if you're eating M&Ms or you're eating Katuk, which is better? Nobody says anything about M&Ms, but everybody has an opinion on Katuk. It blows my mind. So I've been eating Katuk for years, perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. Get yourself some Katuk. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna end it at that. I ain't gonna even go even further. Get yourself some Katuk. Number 4 in this list, we're gonna roll with cassava. It's one of the most highest calorie crops on earth. It's drought-proof, storm-proof, and one cassava plant can produce 40 to 60 pounds of edible roots, just one. It's a massive carbohydrate source. The roots stored underground, safe from the disasters that's happening above ground. The leaves are also edible, and they're high in protein. So just like I love crops that do 2 different type of things, like our sweet potatoes, we can eat the leaves too. Now, cassava is another one. Easy to grow, you plant it in the ground, you just forget about it. The thing I would say about cassava is this though. Your sweet potatoes, they're gonna run underground and they're staying low to the ground. Cassava, you're talking about this plant, even though the goodness is underground, it's going to shoot up like a tree. It's going to be 10, 15 feet tall. So make sure when you're planting your cassava, you're planting it somewhere where it has enough energy to produce and grow up. Now, you don't have to let your tree get that tall, but if you're someone who likes to eat the leaves and you're using the leaves in meals as well, then you might want to let it get that tall. But cassava is something that you definitely want to plant. All right, so now we've made it to my top 3 list. And this is my top 3 for right now. There's a lot of other crops that I didn't put in this, but this is my top 3 for right now, just off the top of my head, what I'm thinking. So at number 3, we're going with bananas and plantains. This is a Florida perennial calorie. It's not a tree, but you guys know. It's a mature plantain tree can produce tens of thousands of calories every year without replanting it, because you're going to get suckers and you're going to keep coming up. It's high in carbs and potassium. It provides a consistent harvest after year. Banana plants can withstand wind when planted in clumps together. That's why banana circles are so good. And in survival terms, banana plants are just like a emergency ration that you're growing as a tree, essentially, because they're always going to be there. They keep coming back. You can't overwater a banana plant, and you get hundreds of pounds of food per harvest. Banana plants is pretty much a no-brainer. I've made plenty of videos before talking about how to plant banana plants and where to put them. I always suggest do not put them next to a shared neighbored fence, because there's a chance that those banana plants can come up on the other side, especially if you're planting it right up against your neighbor's fence. So you want to be careful of that. Banana circles are wonderful. Planting your bananas together in clumps, it's not a bad idea as well. And another thing too is, if you have so many fruit trees in your yard and you don't want to waste the space for bananas in your sunniest spots, bananas even grow very well with partial sun. That's where we have our banana plants, and they're doing perfectly fine. So the sunnier the spot, yes, that's going to be better, but I'm not going to even say better. But you can plant bananas in full sun. You can plant it in shade. Bananas are going to grow very well in Florida, Central to South Florida. I'm being specific with this one. It gets a little bit challenging, North Florida, Georgia, and other places. It's a little bit challenging. Not to say you can't grow them, but it's a little bit challenging. But in Central and South Florida, banana plants thrive. So easy crop to grow. That's number 3 on our list. Get yourself some bananas. Number 2 on my list is Moringa, the pods and the seeds. Now, you've heard me calling Moringa the tree of life because I didn't make up the name. That's what the name is of the tree. Moringa seeds and pods are very healthy, and they contain healthy fats, proteins, calories essential for your brain and long-term survival. It produces edible food 365 days a year. The seeds can be eaten or pressed for oil. The leaves are your multivitamin. This is your multivitamin. You guys know, I'm not going to even go into that because you guys know how we feel about Moringa here at GrowFit Florida. Moringa isn't just the food. This is your medicine. This is your calorie. It's your survival tree. If you only can plant one thing in your yard, you're going to plant some Moringa. Now, some people ask, yo, Jermaine, why you let your Moringa trees get so tall and grow so tall it's hard to harvest? Well, we have some that are not extremely tall that we harvest like that, but the ones we let grow tall, for us, that's how we are able to get the pods and the seeds. When we let them stay short, we don't get the pods and the seeds. But when we let them grow 15, 20, 25 feet, they give us the pods and the seeds. So that's for us. That's why we let them grow. So if you want your pods and your seeds with your Moringa, let it grow into a tree. Don't keep it as a shrub, and you're going to get those pods and seeds very easily. Not to say you can't get it as a 5-foot shrub, but it's very easy, and you get a lot when you let it grow as a tree. So Moringa, number 2 on that list for a good reason. I know you're thinking right now, what is number 1? What is number 1? Let's get to number 1. Now, I never make videos just thinking about the things that I have planted. Even though we have so many things planted in our backyard and front yard now too. We have so many crops. I'm never one to just, if I don't have it planted, I'm not going to talk about it, because that's not what it is. Because there's a lot of healthy things, a lot of good things that we currently don't have. And I speak about because I know, and I have to go get it. And number one on my list is something that we don't have planted in our backyard, but I know the value of it, and I know how this is a great tree for everyone to have as a survival crop. And number one on my list, I'm rolling with jackfruit. Can only plant one tree for pure survival. It probably would be jackfruit if you really think about it. One jackfruit can feed your entire family for days. It produces thousands of calories per fruit, and each fruit tree contains 200 to 300 pounds of food every single year. It's high in carbs, protein, and fiber. The seeds are edible and rich in minerals. It's drought resistant, hurricane resistant, pest resistant. Jackfruit, when you talk about just getting calories, pure survival, you can't go wrong with jackfruit. It is basically your survival system all in one. So I know I don't grow jackfruit. We don't have jackfruit here. But if I had to recommend one to someone that's really wants to concentrate on survival crops, and that's their main focus for growing food is for survival crops, I'm going to tell them jackfruit. Can't go wrong with jackfruit. Have you guys seen a jackfruit? How big a jackfruit is actually? How much food you're going to get from a jackfruit? It's crazy. So jackfruit, number one. Do you have it? Let me know if you have it. Let me know what flavor you have. I've tried some jackfruit. Some has been delicious, and some has just been, So let me know the flavor you got. All right, so listen, this is not a time to just be growing for fun. This is a time to grow for survival. These crops, they don't just supplement your diet, they become your diet, especially when things get hard. If you want to know exactly how many each crop you need per person, how to plant them, how much food they produce, and how to build your system that makes your backyard your security, storm proof, and I put it all in my guide. So just go on my website, growfitflorida.com, select the guide for you, and you're going to get so much information. And if you want direct mentorship and access to me, go on my Patreon. Like I said, I'm slowly expanding it out. We're getting videos on there that's you talking about. If you want to grow some food and you want to really learn, Patreon is where it's at. So I'll see you on Patreon. This is 10 survival crop plants. Yes, I'm sure there's others, and I know there's others. We're growing many others. These are just the top 10 that I can think of that, honestly, if I'm being very subjective, that are, I wanted something that's easy to grow. I wanted something that in Florida, we can put these down and we don't even have to think about it. I like easy crops. So these are 10 easy crops for you. And these are also 10 crops that you can find anywhere. A lot of these you can go to your grocery store and you can get the seeds at your grocery stores and get started planting in your backyard, you know, very cheap. And these are just 10 crops that have always done us right. So that's why I selected this list. If you have other crops, let me know in the comments that you're thinking about. Like I said, there's plenty more, but this is a good 10 for us to get started. So I want to thank all of you for watching this. I hope that your gardens and your food forest is looking great. Still prayers out to everyone in Jamaica. Thank you for watching this video, and until the next video, God bless.